Welcome back to the Quadjira, coin lovers and history explorers. And today we are diving deep into the powerful story of the 1985 Liberty Quarter, a coin that may look ordinary at first glance, but actually carries decades of American history, struggle, pride, and identity within its metal. The story of this quarter does not begin in 1985. Instead, it takes us back to the early 20th century, a time when the United States wanted to honor its founding father, George Washington, in a way that would keep his legacy alive in everyday life. In 1932, on the 200th anniversary of Washington's birth, the U.S. Mint introduced the Washington Quarter as a commemorative coin, meant to remind Americans of leadership, sacrifice, and unity during difficult times like the Great Depression. Sculptor John Flanagan designed Washington's portrait based on a historic bust by Jean-Antoine Houdon, created while Washington was still alive, giving the coin a realistic and timeless appearance. What was planned as a temporary design quickly became permanent, because the American public connected deeply with Washington's calm yet powerful expression. Over the decades, this quarter passed through wars, economic booms, social change, and technological revolutions, quietly witnessing history while remaining part of daily transactions. By the time we reach 1985, this coin was no longer just currency. It had become a symbol of continuity, tradition, and trust, carried unknowingly by millions of people in their pockets. As we move deeper into the story, the 1985 Liberty Quarter reveals layers of meaning through its design and the era in which it was produced. The obverse proudly displays George Washington facing left, a direction often associated with reflection and wisdom, while the bold word liberty above his head represents the foundation upon which the United States was built. The phrase "In God We Trust" reflects national faith and moral belief, while the year 1985 places this coin in a fascinating period of modern history. During this time, America was experiencing economic growth, rapid technological advancement, and strong global influence. In the final years of the Cold War, the reverse side of the coin features the iconic bald eagle, with wings spread wide, clutching arrows that symbolize strength, readiness, and defense, while the olive branches beneath represent peace and diplomacy, a powerful message showing America's desire to protect freedom while striving for harmony. Unlike older quarters minted before 1965, the 1985 quarter is made of copper nickel-clad metal, marking the shift from precious metals to modern mass production. Hundreds of millions of these coins were minted across U.S. facilities, ensuring that the 1985 quarter became a true coin of the people, used in shops, vending machines, buses, and homes across the nation, silently reflecting the confidence and direction of America during that era, adapting to change while preserving core values. As this story moves forward, the 1985 Liberty Quarter begins to transform from simple currency into a subject of deeper interest. Over time, collectors, historians, and enthusiasts started to examine these coins more closely, searching for variations, errors, and exceptional strikes that set certain examples apart from the rest. What once seemed ordinary slowly gained new meaning as people realized that history, value, and identity can exist even in the most common objects. This growing awareness marks an important turning point in the story, one that leads directly into the world of collecting, rarity, and hidden details, which will be explored in the next parts of this ongoing journey. As the 1985 Liberty Quarter continued its journey through the hands of everyday Americans, a smaller, more specialized group began to notice details that most people overlooked. Numismatists and dedicated collectors started studying the coins closely, examining each strike for subtle differences that could make a coin rare, unique, or historically significant. In the world of coin collecting, even minor variations can transform a common quarter into a coveted treasure, and the 1985 Liberty Quarter was no exception. Some coins exhibited die errors, such as slight misalignments, doubled designs, or irregular spacing of letters and numbers. These subtle mistakes, caused by the high-speed minting process, became highly sought after by enthusiasts because they represent a unique moment in the coin's production, a moment that will never repeat. Collectors would spend hours inspecting coins under magnification, searching for anomalies like off-center strikes, die cracks, or clipped plankets, which all added layers of rarity and intrigue to an otherwise ordinary piece of currency. Beyond errors, certain varieties also emerged, which could include slight differences in the shape or depth of Washington's portrait, the eagle's wing details, or the thickness of lettering on the coin. These distinctions, often invisible to casual holders, became a key focus for collectors looking to build complete or specialized collections. By cataloging these differences, enthusiasts not only preserved the coin itself but also documented a part of U.S. minting history that would otherwise go unnoticed. This phase in the quarter's life marks an important evolution, from a coin used casually in daily life to a subject of intense study and appreciation. Collectors also began to recognize that condition played a crucial role in determining a coin's value. Circulated coins, with their soft edges and worn surfaces, told a story of daily life but were typically worth face value. In contrast, uncirculated or proof coins, often preserved in mint sets or carefully stored by early collectors, retained every sharp detail of Flanagan's original design. These pristine examples allowed collectors to experience the coin much as it appeared the day it left the mint, connecting them directly to history in a tangible way. As interest grew, 1985 Liberty quarters became increasingly documented in coin guides, auction catalogs, and collector forums, establishing a clear pathway for anyone interested in building a serious collection. By the mid-1980s, the culture of coin collecting had expanded significantly, fueled by both the nostalgia of older coins and the discovery of subtle variations in contemporary issues like the 1985 quarter. Coin shows, exhibitions, and private collections created communities of enthusiasts who shared knowledge, traded coins, and celebrated the artistry and history of every piece. The 1985 Liberty quarter, while common in circulation, gained an unexpected prestige within these communities due to its design, condition variations, and the possibility of rare errors. What once seemed like a simple everyday coin began to take on a dual identity, part currency, part collectible, and entirely a piece of American heritage. This growing attention also highlighted a fascinating aspect of coin collecting: the relationship between history, art, and commerce. Each 1985 quarter, no matter how ordinary, represented a connection to George Washington's legacy, the artistry of John Flanagan, and the meticulous production process at the U.S. Mint. For collectors, these coins were more than money. They were miniature time capsules, carrying decades of social, economic, and political context. The 1985 Liberty quarter's journey into the collector world transformed it from a coin handled unconsciously into an object of deliberate study, appreciation, and sometimes even investment. And as we move into the next part of the story, we will explore how the market value, rare finds, and collector enthusiasm continued to grow, ensuring that this humble quarter would never be forgotten. As interest in the 1985 Liberty quarter continued to grow, collectors slowly began to understand an important truth of numismatics. A coin's value is not defined only by its age, but by its condition, rarity, and story. Because the 1985 quarter was produced in extremely large numbers, most examples found in circulation are worth only their face value. However, this reality does not reduce the coin's importance. Instead, it highlights how exceptional examples rise above the ordinary. Coins that survived decades of circulation without heavy wear became increasingly attractive to collectors, especially those showing sharp details on Washington's hair, clear facial features, and a strong, well-defined eagle on the reverse. These high-grade pieces offered a rare glimpse into what the coin looked like at the moment it left the mint. making them desirable historical artifacts rather than simple currency. Proof versions of the 1985 Liberty Quarter also began to attract special attention within the collector community. These coins, struck with specially prepared dies and polished plankets, display mirror-like fields and frosted designs that highlight every detail of Flanagan's work. Unlike circulating quarters, proof coins were never intended for everyday use. They were created for collectors who valued perfection and craftsmanship. Over time, many proof examples remained preserved in original packaging, allowing future generations to experience the coin in near-perfect condition. As demand for high-quality coins increased, these proofs became important benchmarks for evaluating design, quality, and minting standards of the mid-1980s. Market behavior also played a significant role in shaping the reputation of the 1985 Liberty Quarter. Auction houses, coin shows, and private dealers began listing exceptional specimens, sometimes surprising collectors with prices far higher than expected for such a modern coin. Error coins, especially those with clear doubling, off-center strikes, or dramatic die cracks, attracted competitive bidding because of their uniqueness. These errors represented moments where the minting process briefly broke perfection, creating one-of-a-kind variations that could never be reproduced. For many collectors, the excitement of discovering such an error in a roll of quarters or an old collection added a sense of adventure to the hobby. Another key factor influencing value was grading, the professional assessment of a coin's condition. As third-party grading services became more influential, the 1985 Liberty Quarter entered a new phase of recognition. Coins graded at the highest levels were encapsulated and preserved, effectively freezing their condition in time. This process helped establish trust in the market, allowing collectors to confidently trade and invest in coins based on standardized evaluations. Through grading, the quarter transitioned from an everyday object to a certified collectible, further strengthening its position in numismatic history. At the same time, global interest in American coinage expanded, bringing the 1985 Liberty Quarter to the attention of international collectors. For many outside the United States, this coin represented American culture, leadership, and stability during a transformative era. As American coins traveled across borders through trade, tourism, and private collections, the 1985 quarter became part of a wider global narrative. Its growing presence in collections worldwide demonstrated how a simple coin could serve as a cultural ambassador, carrying the image of George Washington and the ideals of liberty far beyond U.S. borders. As this story continues to unfold, the 1985 Liberty Quarter moves even further away from being just spare change and closer to being recognized as a meaningful historical object. The intersection of market forces, collector passion, and historical awareness sets the stage for the next chapters of this journey, where the coin's role in education, legacy, and long-term preservation will take center stage. The evolution is still ongoing, and the story of this quarter has many more layers yet to be explored as we reach the final chapter of the 1985 Liberty Quarter story. The true legacy of this remarkable coin comes fully into focus. What began decades earlier as a simple tribute to George Washington evolved into one of the most enduring symbols of American identity and continuity. By 1985, the Washington Quarter was no longer just a piece of currency. It had become a quiet storyteller, carrying the values of leadership, liberty, and national unity through everyday life. Each coin, whether worn from years of circulation or preserved in perfect condition, represents a different chapter of human interaction, moments of trade, travel, saving, and exchange that together form the living history of a nation. The educational importance of the 1985 Liberty Quarter cannot be overstated. For students, collectors, and history lovers, this coin serves as a gateway into understanding American heritage. Through a single quarter, one can explore the life of George Washington, the ideals of the American Revolution, the evolution of U.S. coinage, and the economic realities of the modern era. The coin teaches an important lesson. History is not only written in books or displayed in museums, but also embedded in the everyday objects we often overlook. The quarter reminds us that even ordinary items can carry extraordinary meaning when we take the time to understand their origins and purpose. Over time, the 1985 Liberty Quarter also found its place in collections around the world, preserved not just for its potential value, but for the story it tells. Collectors who once searched through pocket change began to see these coins as historical artifacts, each one reflecting the craftsmanship of the U.S. Mint and the artistic vision of John Flanagan. Error coins, proof versions, and high-grade examples became symbols of patience, curiosity, and dedication, qualities that define the true spirit of numismatics. Through collecting, the quarter transformed from a common object into a bridge connecting generations, allowing history to be passed from hand to hand and from one era to the next. The long-term legacy of the 1985 Liberty Quarter lies in its ability to connect the past with the present and the future. As time moves forward, fewer high-quality examples remain, and interest in historical coinage continues to grow. This ensures that the quarter will remain relevant, not as a rare ancient artifact, but as a familiar reminder of where a nation came from and what it stands for. In a world increasingly dominated by digital transactions, the physical presence of this coin carries even greater significance, representing trust, stability, and tradition in an ever-changing society. Ultimately, the story of the 1985 Liberty Quarter teaches us that value is not always measured in price. Its true worth lies in memory, meaning, and continuity. If you enjoyed this deep and complete journey into the history of the 1985 Liberty Quarter, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss another amazing coin story. This is Kwajira, where every coin has a story and every story is worth telling.